Hi guys, Jim here. I travel for my job, and I get quite a few questions about traveling the country while armed or with firearms. The main thing I can tell you is get a carry permit for your home state, and then look into either getting a Florida or Utah carry permit. And you have most of the United States covered at that point for concealed carry. A lot of people don't want to go through the expense or the time or put in the effort to get the out-of-state permits. So on those, you just have to, be careful. There's you're allowed transport through the states. Generally, that's for your sidearm in a locked case, in the trunk of the car, or somewhere that you can't get to it readily. But if you check, there are a few states that allow you to pass through with your firearm within reach. Some states it has to be exposed. Like if you travel through Georgia, the firearm has to be visible, sitting on the seat, sitting on top of your center console, sitting up on your dash maybe. Other states like South Carolina, you're allowed to carry your firearm in the center console, in the glove box, where you can actually, get to it fairly easy, but it's not going to go rattling around if you're, take a turn too sharp. It's not going to slide out the window. But not just plan your route, check the states you're going to be going through. Handgunlaw.us is a great resource for this. They check all the states for their laws. But I get asked quite a bit because so far since 1996, I've worked 48 states. I'm missing Hawaii and I'm missing North Dakota. And I pretty much carried everywhere that I legally can. And, for work, you don't want customers to see that you've got a handgun because, a lot of places you're not allowed to. A lot of companies don't allow it. A lot of employers don't allow it. So it, basically precludes carrying a full-sized sidearm. For the past couple of years, I've been carrying a Kel-Tec P11. And quite honestly, great little hideaway sidearm. At the time it came out, it was one of the smaller ones you could get. And it is a 9mm. You can get 10 or 12 round magazines for it. So, it's light, small, and for what it is, packs a punch. But I've been needing something a little bit smaller. Basically a hideout, total concealment type deal. And recently I finally bit the bullet, so to speak, and picked up a Kel-Tec P11. Because, even though I could take the P380, sorry. Even though I could take the P11, stick it in a pocket, it looked like I was smuggling walnuts or something. So I needed something that, is going to be overlooked. So I picked up the P380 a little while back, and I've been carrying it. And it's one of those things, you forget you've got it on you. It's totally unobtrusive. I pocket carry. Carry right front pocket, have for a while. And, with the P11, there was some weight there. And, you'd move and clunk into stuff. You knew it was there. But I picked up this 380. Hold on. Empty. And for right now, I'm carrying it in a DeSantis Nemesis. and it goes right into the pocket. If anyone looks, maybe you've got a wallet there, and honestly, my wallet's bigger and thicker than this. But excuse me. But no, it tucks away, hides away, lightweight, unobtrusive. It's a 380 round, so it doesn't have the punch that 9mm got. But you've got the choice between going unarmed. 380 is plenty, and it's got a 6-round magazine, so you can one in the chamber, top it off. You got 7 rounds of 380, and that's enough to do away with most single or 2-person threats. The main drawback of this thing is the same as its main benefit. It's small. It's very small. I've got decent sized hands though, and when I go to grab this thing in a firing grip, I really don't have a 2-finger purchase on the grip. And for its lightweight, I think it's 14 ounces loaded. It's snappy. It's very snappy, especially if you're only holding it with 1 finger. I don't have any finger groove magazines or anything on it, so with the magazine in it, I really don't get a good 2-finger purchase. But it's not a range gun. It's a tuck away gun to have something, just in case something happens. Slip a hand in the pocket, pull it out, and you can hide it away. It can be there ready. If I'm wearing a hoodie right now, it's perfect in the front pocket on that. So you can have it in hand just in case something comes up. But yeah, that's my newest acquisition, and I thought about getting it off and on for quite a while, but decided to go with the P11 first off because I was wearing a lot of BDUs, cargo pants, big pockets, so the P11 tucked into the pocket well enough, and you really didn't notice it a whole lot due to the way I dressed. But since I got it, I've dropped probably 60 pounds. So I'm wearing, more blue jeans. They fit tighter, the pockets are smaller. So the P11 got to where it wasn't that great of a choice. But this is. And, I know the P380 will do a good job. I just like more power. Most of us that carry, we want to carry as much firepower as we can. Most places I go, I carry like an over-the-shoulder messenger bag, and it's got a zipper pocket on it that, no one will think twice if, you're walking around holding on to it, and you got your hand tucked into it. People probably figure it's a security thing. Tucked in to the little pocket on it, in case something comes up. I carry this Glock 20 10mm. It's empty also. I have fought getting a Glock since they came out and I was old enough to buy a handgun. Did not like how they feel. Couldn't shoot them that well. I'd tried the 9mm and 40 caliber Glocks, and growing up shooting the 911s, I'd throw it up on target, and my instant sight picture had me shooting pretty much over my target. The grip angle was different than what I was accustomed to, and I was used to that nice, crisp 911 trigger, and the Glock just spongy, stiff, vague. I didn't care for it. Friend of mine made me a deal on this one. You might know him, YouTube, on the internet. His name's George Hill. It's the Mad Ogre from madogre.com. So this was the Ogre's Glock. So it's got some Lone Wolf parts in the trigger. So the trigger is a bit better than factory. You know, it's lived its whole life on slipstream weapons lube from Crusader Weaponry. So it cycles nicely. It doesn't have that gritty, springy Glock sound. You know, it's nice, solid. And when I got it, something strange happened. I'm not sure if it's because it is the large frame Glock. It's got a larger grip. But when I pull it up an instinctive point with it, it points sights dead on, just like my 1911s. This blew my mind. Not something I expected. But, hey, I'll take it. You know, not a whole lot of adjustment to shooting it. You know, the main thing is I don't have a thumb safety. But when I draw it, force a habit, no matter what I shoot, as soon as it comes out, thumb drops down to wipe the safety off. I'm not changing my training on that. It's not hurting anything. So, and when I go to, you know, back to shooting 1911s, whether I'm carrying or at the range or whatever, it's still the same muscle memory. I like that. Now, I don't carry it, you know, floating around loose in my bag. George also sent me this pretty nice Galco holster. So it rides in the bag, sitting straight up. All I've got to do is creep the zipper open, slide a hand in top, and, you know, anything comes up, it's right there. I haven't had to, you know, use it yet, but there's always the chance. So my everyday firearm loadout is a Glock 20 and 10 millimeter, and the Kel-Tec P380 in 380. Also, though, you know, everyday loadout, since I carry a bag with me a lot, you know, I've got laptop, tablet, you know, various other stuff, tools of the trade. I do telecommunications work. Yeah, I carry a bit more than a lot of people might. There's some people that carry a lot more than I do. I see some of these loadout videos on YouTube, and I'm just like, what the hell? But, you know, tucked away, I keep a flashlight. Now, you don't have to spend a lot of money to get a halfway decent flashlight. This one right here came from Tractor Supply, sold under the Job Smart brand. I think I paid $10 for it. Runs on 3 AA batteries. It's got your crenellated bezel. It's got a nice bright LED. You know, push button on the end of it. Good hand filling size. And $10 for a good, useful flashlight that's also useful for self-defense. In my pocket, I have this right here. It's a Camillus Cuda. You know, not a lot of money on a knife. I think it's like $30 at Walmart. You can spend a lot more money. You can get a lot better knives. I'm bad about losing knives. I'm bad about loaning them to people and forgetting to get them back. So I tend not to spend a whole lot on knives because for me it's throwing money down the toilet. But since I work in telecommunications, I've always got this on my belt. And in the offices and everything, you know, don't get a second look because half the people in there are carrying what's called a splicer's pouch. Comes with a cable knife, You know, chip the tip off of that one. But it comes with a cable splicer's knife and a pair of snips. And no one pays any attention to it. But with these snips, you get a really nice grip on them. Anything happens, you know, I don't have access to one of my handguns. I can just reach down, pull this out, and up close, it'll do some damage. And it's not something that'll get a second look, at least for me. I don't know if you'd really care for walking around with this on your belt, but no, you got to take into consideration what you can have with you on a regular basis. You know, your day-to-day life and your job dictate different things. I can get away with more than some people like that because I carry, you know, an across-the-body messenger bag. I'm 6'4", 270 pounds. I'm not generally the kind of guy that's going to get purse grabbed. Generally not the kind of guy that someone's going to mess with without some, you know, forethought and ill intent anyway. But, you know, there's a few things you just, you know, try to have on your person. Try to have a decent everyday carry knife. And, you know, practice with it. Practice opening it. Now, I wouldn't suggest for most people getting the Camillus Cuda. You can see the thumb opening on this is very strange compared to most knives. Your thumb has got to go forward towards the blade and then back following the track to open it up. And if you don't practice with it, it's awkward. The thumb stud is this little rotating disc. It's really easy for your thumb to slip off of. But one reason I got it is the blade retention on it that holds it back into the body of the knife. It's very weak. And you can open it up without even touching the thumb stud. Pull it out, snap it out, it's ready. It works okay with the thumb stud too. Pop it out like that, hold it like that, crack it down. So yeah, the reason I bought it is because compared to a lot of other knives, it's defective. It works well for me. But, you know, every time you leave the house, if you can, you want to have a knife on you. They're handy for defense. They're handy for just utilitarian uses. You know, flashlight, blind your attacker, smack them with the crenellated part of it, run like hell. You know, and importantly, cell phones. Don't leave home without your cell phone. If nothing else, you get pinned up somewhere hiding, you can dial 911. Yeah. Don't get on Twitter. I'm in trouble. Don't get on Facebook. Someone call the police. I'm not sure they're real, but I've seen and heard reports of it happening. Don't be that guy. But, you know, get a sidearm that, you know, fits in with what you're doing. If it was up to me, you know, I'd carry the biggest, most powerful thing I could everywhere, every day. And on most days, I kind of do. You know, 15 rounds of 10 millimeter, that's nothing to sneeze at. Carry this, 3 backup mags stuck in a pouch in the bag. Little 380. Backup mag. That's kind of cute, ain't it? You know, backup mag in the little change pocket of your pants. Fits. That's where I carry it. But, you know, even as pepper spray is all you can, you know, legally have. don't leave the house without it. Carry the same thing every day. Carry the same thing in the same place if you can. You want, when you reach for something, it to be instinctive. You want it to be there. You want it to come off the exact same way. You know, don't carry it upside down one day, carry it flipped over the other day. You know, or this little magazine. When I stick it in that little change pocket, you know, every time it goes in, it goes in rounds first. And if you look at the magazine, on the base plate, it's got the little hook part right here. That goes towards the front. So when I reach in and grab it, you know, hooks well with my finger, pull it out. I wish I had it on the left side. It'd make reloads a hell of a lot easier. Now we're not picturing a whole lot of loads with 380. But no.
Sorcery.
Just carry. Carry what you can. Carry all the time. Carry consistently. Carry the same way. And if anything happens, being a creature of habit could just save your life. Have a good day.